everybody, and welcome to a new edition of the Broulis Beat Report. I am your host, Nick Broulis. Thank you for joining me here on fandom.com. The Broulis Beat Report is brought to you by Cafe 80s. Please feel free to visit them at thecafe80s.net and check them out on Facebook and find out where they're going to be at a place near you if you love 80s music, and especially live 80s music. It's been a while, yeah. It has been, I'd say, last time I was with you guys was sometime around the beginning of June, I believe. Because I believe the last time that I actually recorded a podcast, it was Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So, needless to say, better late than never. Congrats, Cavs, on winning Cleveland's first professional championship for the first time in 52 years. Well deserved, might I add. I, as you know, was one of those people that pretty much counted them out after they went down 3-1. So congrats to the Cleveland Cavaliers on winning the 2016 NBA championship. Now, we're not going to talk about basketball in this edition of the Broulis Beat Report. And just for the record, those of you that may be wondering where I've been at this whole time, my software on my computer, it's hit or miss. Sometimes it wants to load these podcasts up every time. Sometimes it doesn't. So it really is a hit or miss as to when the next time I'm going to be able to come on to the fandom.com site under the podcast and you can watch me and listen to me and, you know, whatever. But anyways, before I go any further, I want to make note. For those of you that actually take the time to read my Broulis Beat Report articles, I have most of the divisions done when it comes to the NFL divisions. I started out in the NFC. I covered the NFC West, the NFC South, the NFC East, and the NFC North. And then I went to the AFC West, the AFC South, the AFC East, and now the AFC North will be my final prediction. But I got most of them done already. The only one I have left to go is the AFC North. So for those of you that are not reading these or just haven't had a chance to, please feel free to get on fandom.com and go under for featured members. Click on my picture and you can go, or you can just go under NFL and it's got all my articles right there. So if there's a division you're curious that that I've written about, in my opinion and who I think is going to win that division, just go to fandom.com and check it out. Now, as it relates to the Cleveland Browns, if you haven't heard yet by now, they finally sent off former first-round pick quarterback Justin Gilbert to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which kind of, I know he's terrible. I agree with you on that, and I'm glad that they finally got rid of him. But I don't necessarily think it's ever really a great idea to trade within your division, but at least we got rid of him. So now the Browns also just recently, earlier today, let go of Taylor Gabriel, and he got picked up by the Atlanta Falcons. So now 2 former Browns are on the Atlanta Falcons, that being Taylor Gabriel and obviously Alex Mack. I was a little shocked, but not disappointed in the fact that they let go of Paul Kruger. He, of course, latched on with the New Orleans Saints last week. And Pierre Desir is now gone. So, look, you guys wanted to rebuild. I know I wanted to rebuild. This is what happens. And at least they're not, I don't want to use foul language on here, but it's not half-hearted. They're not just doing it to do it. They're getting rid of, these guys that are just not getting the job done. The Kruger situation, for example, obviously he was making a lot of money, but he wasn't doing his job. So the Browns are cleaning house. They're doing it the right way. I'm just curious as to if Joe Thomas is going to be on this roster by the trade deadline. And if you're wondering, no, at the top of my head, I can't think of when the trade deadline is. I believe it's early to middle of October, but I'm not promising you that. So the preseason is over, and they start out week 1 at Philadelphia. And in case you haven't heard by now, the Philadelphia Eagles actually sent Sam Bradford to the Minnesota Vikings, who I believe it was just last week or the week before lost Teddy Bridgewater, their starting quarterback, for the year due to a knee injury. So now, if Carson Wentz is healthy and his rib injury has healed by week 1, guess what? When we made that trade with the Philadelphia Eagles, well, now we're going to be facing the guy that, we didn't think, at least that's what I got out of it, that didn't think that he's going to be able to be proved as a franchise quarterback, and that is Carson Wentz out of North Dakota State. So it ought to be interesting, and yes, if, again, my software and the internet allows me, I will be doing my predictions with the week-by-week situation going on with the NFL, and I'm going to try and do some college stuff along with the article aspect of Fandom.com. I want to keep both things going as much as I possibly can. Now, again, week 1 starts on 9/11, so the Browns will be at Philadelphia, so be curious to see how that game unfolds. Now, moving on to Major League Baseball. It is the final month of the regular season. So far, the Indians have taken 2 games away from the Miami Marlins. They have a 3-game set with them. And then after that, they have I believe it's a 4-game series with the Houston Astros here at home. And then after that, as far as I can remember, it's all AL Central opponents. This is very big. This is a huge month for the Cleveland Indians. Now here's the interesting part. The Indians have to do well. They have to continue to do good in this month, because the final 2 series, I should say, of September. The first one is at Detroit, and then the final one is at Kansas City. Go figure, those are the 2 teams that are behind the Indians in the AL Central as of right now, with the Tigers being, I believe it's 5 or 5.5 games back, and the Royals are, I believe, 7.5 or 8 games back right now. And go figure, right now, those 2 are in I believe it's a 3-game series over in Kansas City. So this is a very big month for the Cleveland Indians. They are not guaranteed a playoff spot right now. I don't want them to have any part of that wild card. I don't want them to be involved in that 1-game playoff, although I personally find it exciting. I know a lot of people don't. I do. So we shall see, but this is a big month for the Cleveland Indians. And so far lately, they've gotten the offensive bats going again. I know there for a stretch of about 3 weeks to a month, they were having a hard time just scoring 3 to 4 runs a game. So far the offensive bats have come back alive for the Cleveland Indians. Hopefully that continues for them. Now, one thing that I'd love to see Terry Francona stay away from, please stop DHing. Please stop putting Carlos Santana at first base. Keep him as your DH. Right now, we really can't afford many losses. Unless the Tigers and the Royals go into a tailspin, we got to keep winning. So I really hope that he keeps Santana in the DH role strictly and keeps Napoli at first base. I know Napoli's in a bit of a cold streak when it comes to hitting home runs right now, but he's still far and away a way better defender at first base than what Santana has ever been and will ever be. And real quick on the Santana matter before I move on is, I know this is a contract year. If you're the Indians, what do you do with Carlos Santana? I'm really hoping that they don't bring out a big paycheck for him. Obviously, it's the Indians. They're not going to. He's a liability on defense, obviously, and he's a very streaky hitter, and he doesn't know how to use all spots of the ballpark. And if you're wondering what I mean by that is, he cannot go opposite field with his hits most of the time. He's a pull hitter, and he's always been a pull hitter. He's never really tried to use all spots in the ballpark to get the ball. So, yes, I know he gets on base because he gets a lot of walks, but I just really hope that they don't go, too far high and above trying to re-sign him. So, with that being said, I really hope that the Indians can make the playoffs because it's not a guarantee right now. Other than that, from the college football aspect of things, We have the Ohio State Buckeyes blew out Bowling Green in what was a very impressive offensive showing for Ohio State. Also, Houston upset Oklahoma yesterday in the early game yesterday. Also, LSU lost to Wisconsin in Green Bay yesterday, so that's a big win for the Big Ten. And it was just a great day for the opening of college football. Was it Alabama took care of USC? Oh my goodness. And now tonight it's Texas and Notre Dame. Wow, unbelievable. So that's it for the Broulis Beat Report. Again, my name is Nick Broulis. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter at nbroulis, last name spelled Broulis. I love you guys. I really do appreciate you guys watching the show. Hopefully my internet connection will work with me and the software will work with me and I'll be able to do more podcasts throughout the week. But until next time, hopefully I see you again soon. Have a great one, everybody.